Take the money and leave my life. I have a classy girl now.
Won't take your money.
The evening sun cast long shadows across the dusty compound as Mercy stood frozen, her heart shattering into 1,000 pieces. Mark looked different now, polished, confident, wearing clothes that probably cost more than her father's entire harvest. Beside him stood Sophia, tall and slender in her city dress, her skin glowing with creams Mercy had only seen in magazine pictures at the market. "I'm sorry, Mercy," Mark said, his voice steady, almost rehearsed. "But I can't marry a fat village girl like you. I found someone I needed, someone slim and classy." The words hit Mercy like stones. Her breath caught in her throat as tears began streaming down her round cheeks. 5 years! She had waited 5 years for this man. 5 years of turning down suitors, good men with farms, with trades, men who looked at her with genuine affection. 5 years of her parents' daily questions. When is Mark coming back? Are you sure he remembers you? 5 years of villagers whispering behind her back, calling her foolish, calling her desperate. "Mark," her voice trembled, "I have waited for you for 5 years. I took insults from everyone in this village. I prayed for you every single night. I believed in you when everyone said you would never make it in the city. I suffered, Mark. I sent you the little money I could scrape together from selling my vegetables, even when my own stomach was empty. And now, this is how you pay me back?" Sophia stepped closer to Mark, linking her arm through his. "Mark, darling, you should compensate her for her efforts." Mark smiled, that same smile Mercy used to love, now twisted into something cruel. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a thick bundle of dollar bills. The money looked obscene in the fading light, crisp and foreign against the red earth of their village. "This should settle everything you did for me," he said, extending the money toward her. Fresh tears poured down Mercy's face. Her whole body shook. "Everything I did for you was out of love, out of a pure heart. It was never for sale, Mark. It was never meant to be paid back like I'm some laborer you hired." She looked up at the darkening sky, her hands trembling at her sides. "May the God I have been praying to for you all these years, if he accepts what you have done to me, then it is fine." Without taking the money, without looking back, Mercy turned and walked away. Her legs felt like they would give out beneath her, but she kept moving, kept breathing, one step at a time. Mark stood there, money still in his hand, watching her retreating figure. Something cold settled in his chest. The riverbank was their place. 5 years ago, before Mark left for the city, they would sit here together under the big mango tree, making plans, dreaming dreams. Mercy collapsed on the same rock where they used to sit, and finally she let herself break completely. She cried like a child, deep, gulping sobs that tore from her chest. She cried for the years she had wasted, for the love she had given so freely, for the girl she used to be, the one who believed in promises whispered under moonlight. The pain was a physical thing, crushing her ribs, making it hard to breathe. The sun set. The moon rose. Still, Mercy stayed by the river, crying until she had no tears left, only dry, shaking gasps. At Mark's father's compound, the family sat outside under the kerosene lamp. Mark's father, Papa O'Con, a weathered man with kind eyes, looked at his son with deep disappointment. His mother, Mama O'Con, shook her head slowly. "My son," Papa O'Con said quietly, "we do not support this decision you have made." "Papa, I've moved on. Sophia is—" "You cannot just dump Mercy like that," Mama O'Con interrupted, her voice firm. Do you know what that girl has endured because of you? The whole village laughed at her. Her own parents were angry with her for refusing other suitors, and she stood firm, believing you would return for her. My mind is made up. Mark looked away. Papa Okan stood slowly, his old bones creaking. I will never force you into anything, my son, but I will always tell you when you are making a mistake. And this, he gestured toward the house where Sophia was staying, this is a mistake you will regret. He walked into the darkness, leaving Mark sitting with his mother and his uncomfortable thoughts. When Mercy finally dragged herself home that night, she found her parents waiting. Her mother's face was tight with anger, her father's with bitter vindication. "We told you!" her mother shouted. "We warned you this would happen, but no, you knew better. You had to wait for your precious Mark, and now look at you, the laughingstock of the entire village." "All the good men who came for you," her father added, shaking his head. "All of them gone now, married to other women, and what do you have? Nothing. Shame, that's what you have." Mercy said nothing. What could she say? They were right. Everyone had been right, except her. She went to her small room and lay on her mat, staring at the ceiling. Sleep wouldn't come. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Mark's face, heard his words, "Fat village girl." The pain was endless. The next morning, Mercy forced herself to go fetch water from the river. She needed to live, even if living hurt. "There goes Mark's foolish woman," someone called out as she passed. A group of women by the roadside stopped their conversation to stare and whisper loudly. 5 years she waited, 5 years, and he threw her away like rubbish. Old Mama Ego clicked her tongue as Mercy walked past. This is what happens when a girl doesn't listen to her elders. Every step through the village was torture. Every eye that landed on her felt like a judgment. By the time Mercy reached the river, her water pot felt impossibly heavy. Back home, she broke down again. Going outside became a battle. The shame pressed down on her like a physical weight. Meanwhile, at Mark's compound, it was celebration every day. Villagers came to drink, to eat chicken, to congratulate him on his success in the city. The compound was never empty, never quiet. One afternoon, Michael, Mark's childhood friend, pulled him aside. "Mark, have you taken time to look at the people around you now?" Michael asked seriously. "What do you mean?" "I mean, look at them, all these villagers drinking your wine, eating your food. Where were they when you left for the city with nothing? Where were they when you were struggling?" Michael paused. "And tell me something, brother. Why did you dump the one woman who stood by you when you had nothing for someone you just met now that you have money?" The words landed like punches. Mark knew Michael spoke truth. He always had, even when they were children. "All these people around you," Michael continued, "they are fake. They love your money, not you. But you know who was real? Mercy, and you threw her away." Mark felt something shift inside him. "I need you to do something for me," Michael said quietly. "Trust me on this." 2 days later, Mark collapsed. Villagers rushed him to the hospital. He didn't return for 3 weeks. When he finally came back, he was in a wheelchair. The story spread like wildfire. Mark's money was finished, every penny spent at the hospital. He couldn't walk anymore. Slowly, the villagers stopped coming. The compound grew quiet. 2 weeks later, Sophia packed her bag. "Something came up," she said vaguely. "I need to go back to the city. I'll come back soon." She never did. The whispers started. It was blood money. That's why it finished so quickly. The gods have punished him. And then one day, as Mark sat in his wheelchair in the compound, feeling more alone than he ever had, Mercy appeared. Mark's heart stopped. After everything he had done to her, she was here. Without a word, Mercy walked over, took the wheelchair handles, and rolled him to a shaded area. They sat in silence, him not knowing how to speak after the pain he had caused, her unable to find words through her own hurt. But Mercy kept coming back, day after day. She washed his clothes, she helped his mother in the kitchen, she cleaned the compound. Each time she left, Papa and Mama Okan would bless her, praying she would find a good man who would love her properly. And each time, Mark would cry quietly in his wheelchair, watching the woman he had broken still choosing kindness. Finally, Mark couldn't bear it anymore. "Mercy," he said when she came the next day, "why are you doing this? After everything I did to you, why?" She stopped, looked at him with those sad eyes, and spoke softly. "Because I cannot do anything else, Mark. I cannot watch you suffer, even though I have every reason to. My heart, it will not let me rest if I don't help you." Mark's tears fell freely now. "I'm so sorry, Mercy, for everything. I was a fool." "I have forgiven you," she said simply. "If I hadn't, I wouldn't be here." Mark reached for the small phone beside him and made a call. 30 minutes later, 3 expensive cars pulled into the compound, their engines purring. Doors opened and Michael stepped out first, followed by several well-dressed men and women. Papa and Mama Okan rushed out from inside the house, confusion written across their faces. Mercy stood frozen, her hands trembling. And then Mark stood up from the wheelchair. Mercy gasped. Mama Okan's hand flew to her mouth. Papa Okan's eyes widened in shock. "It was all staged," Mark said with his voice thick with emotion. "Everything, the sickness, the wheelchair, the money finishing, it was all a test to know who my real friends are now that I have made it. And everything is clear to me now." "A test?" Mercy whispered, tears streaming down her face. Mark slowly lowered himself to his knees on the dusty ground, pulling a small velvet box from his pocket. He opened it, revealing a ring that caught the sunlight. "Mercy," he said, his voice shaking, "I know I have messed up in the past, but if you could give me another chance, I will worship the ground that you pass on." Through her tears, Mercy nodded. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, Mark." Mark stood and pulled her into his arms, holding her tight as they both cried. Papa and Mama Okan shed tears of joy, embracing each other. Then Mark turned to Michael and hugged him tightly. "Thank you, my brother. Thank you." He walked over to his father, handing him car keys. "Papa, 1 car is for you." Then he turned to Mercy with another set of keys. "And 1 is for you." Mercy stood there, overwhelmed, unable to speak as joy finally replaced all the pain she had carried for so long. This is the end of the story. Please follow our accounts and subscribe to our channel if you want to see stories like this again. Thank you for always being here.